here, and I think one of the things that I honed in on fairly early on in the league was how many skills we can train in this game without interacting with their core loops. And what that means is doing things like divine caches, the Gate of Validness, flash events, and those are just a few of the examples. Tanis, you said you didn't fall prey to this.
No, I didn't do a single cache, not a single flash event, nothing like that. I trained the skills the way I've always trained them. I mean, it was just faster. So like my perspective really was like, this is how it could be to get to in-game content if you know what I mean? Like I didn't really do any shortcut methods because it's just not my style. And you don't have to when you're not grinding for years on end.
That's a very key point, grinding for years on end, because, as Pern was saying, how long did it take your combat stats that weren't the one you were doing to go from 60 to 99?
2.5 days. That's basically, yeah. I went to flash events mainly to get ashes to train my prayer. And yeah, you do them, but then the combat ones, you get a combat lamp. Okay. I love training magic. I've got magic gear, that's fine. What's the hardest one to do? Range. No real good range gear at my level that, I can make because I need 10 levels above. I can't get a decent weapon. Chuck it on range. Jesus, 6 levels? Cool. Next event. Bang. Another 6 levels. Sweet. This is going on. I'm going out to the next one. And from 60 to about 75, it was jumping like, 5 or 6 levels a pop. After that, it was about 4 levels a pop. Even from 90 to 95, every lamp was a level. And it was just like, I wasn't expecting it, and it wasn't something I thought of training that way. I was going out there for the bloodweed seeds and ashes. That's all I wanted, and and like even the skilling ones, like the farming one and the hunter one, you're catching butterflies, jumping 3 or 4 levels just catching butterflies and things like that. They were flash events were really, really good. I didn't do divine caches. Gates of Validness.
We kind of had to for crafting.
Well, yeah, but again, you still had to do one of the quests.
It was a short 5-minute quest.
Exactly, which I didn't realize. I thought it was all the quests at first, and I thought, I can't get in there. So I just did. I did my gems up until about 92, and then I think you said, no, it's just the one quest. And I looked at it. Oh, yeah, because all the rest are ticked off.
Yeah, it's a little 5-minute one.
Exactly. So from 92 to 100 was probably an hour and a half, 2 hours of validness.
What about you, Bears, in terms of any of these sorts of things that bypassed, the core training methods? Did you interact with those? Where did you land on those?
A little bit. I'm sitting here trying to think what I did for construction, because I got it to 99, but I didn't do any of the fort quest line, so I didn't do anything in the fort.
Oh, wow.
Again, when I started, the first week was all on mobile, and I was not going to do any quests on mobile. And at that point, then they were like, "Oh, we're going to make this quest line possibly be auto completed." And I'm like, "I'm just not going to do it." And then they didn't actually do anything with it really. And then I was
they made it faster.
It's too late. Yeah, but at that point, I'm like, it's too late. I'm already committed. So I really don't remember what I did for construction. I think it was just random lamps from random things.
Quest lamps, maybe.
Yeah, but I didn't do too many quests, so I don't know.
Did you do the World Wakes?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because you need that for death swiftness, right?
Yeah. So
how stupid was the XP off those ones?
Yeah, that was nuts. So I did that. Let me think what else I did that was kind of different. That I like. It was just like some of like the summoning training where it's like, oh, the shop that usually only sells one item at a time, like you can go buy 1,000 and
Yeah.
boom, that's summoning. Or like getting potions from the gobies. It was like, yeah, I can just sit here for an hour just
Spam
buying
clicking.
potions. Yeah, that was kind of nice.
And I'm glad you mentioned the Gobi shop, because that's important. Because that one does not ruin the game. Because in the main game, there is one of each potion in there.
It's an
daily.
emergency. Yeah.
But
it's not daily. It's
how long
it
does
resets it's every like 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
on my iron, I sit there like I'll do fletching there, do a couple of inventories, and be by the super set.
Okay, I thought that was a daily shop. Fair enough then.
Mm-hmm.
But
trying to think what else. There might have been. I think there was something else I was just thinking about.
Here's the thing, though. The thing that I see with this is that, you know, I wanted to just say the flash events, because Pern, you're saying it's like 5 per pop, right? But the thing with that
Early ones, but yeah.
is that, yes, we understand that this is with, you know, 12x, 16x XP. So it's going to do that. But the point is if you extend this out over months on a main, you can do that exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't have to train.
Questions if things like the flash events and the divine caches in particular, and even the Gate of Validness when it comes to crafting, are healthy for the game as is.